Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wellness and Faith with Sherry Wary. I'm here to provide you with some Sunday inspiration to kick off your week and to also give you a boost of faith for today as well. As you can see, the title of this video is It's Never Too Late. So we are going to be using that to talk about our hashtag moment, which is Do the Impossible. Now, this is the last week for that hashtag, Do the Impossible. Next week, we're going to be kicking off a new hashtag moment, and you'll have to tune in next week in order to find out what that is. Okay, so the story we are going to be using today in order to talk about our hashtag moment of Do the Impossible is the story of Abraham and Sarah. Their story is so juicy, y'all. Let me tell you, if you want to just read a story that has some of everything in it, definitely read the story of Abraham and Sarah. And what's so awesome about it is that you see just real life situations unfolding in their life, but you also just see the hand of God carrying them through it all as well. So there's some drama, there's some betrayal, just a little bit of everything. But at the end of the day, God still blessed them as well. So it's even hope for us just to know that, your life doesn't need to be perfect in order for you to still see just God moving on your behalf and blessing you and even doing the impossible in your life as well. So I'm going to give you the short version of the story of Abraham and Sarah. So they get married, and Abraham has this moment where actually God comes to visit and to speak to him. And so in that moment, God tells Abraham, it's like, yo, I need you to leave where you are, pack everything up, leave your home, leave your country, leave your family, leave your friends, and to move to this place, this new country, this new place that I am now calling you to. And so Abraham packs everything up. He leaves along with his wife, Sarah. So they're now living in this new place that they had not known before. Fast forward several years, and now Sarah is actually really frustrated and disappointed because of the fact that she has not birthed a child. So remember that Abraham had this promise from God where he told him to move to this new place that I have from you. In addition to telling Abraham to move, God also told Abraham that he would be the father of many nations. And so you look at all these years have passed by, and now Abraham and Sarah, they're a lot older. They're past the years of childbearing age, and they're like, what's going on? What's happening? So Sarah, out of her frustration, she actually tells Abraham to sleep with her servant, and her name is Hagar, and then that way they will be able to have a child. So Abraham goes and he does it. He sleeps with Hagar, who is the servant of Sarah. Hagar gets pregnant, and then after her getting pregnant and giving birth to her son Ishmael, Sarah is now mad because she feels like Hagar is just like really feeling herself, and now that she thinks that she is better than Sarah, and she's carrying herself in a way that Sarah feels disrespected. And so we don't have Hagar's account, of how she felt in that situation, but all we know is that in the Bible it talks about how Sarah just felt like Hagar was just out of pocket now that she was able to have a child by Abraham, who is Sarah's husband, and Sarah herself could not even have a child with Abraham. And so now, fast forward about 13 years, and Abraham is sitting outside of his tent, and he sees these three men walking by. So he asks the three men to come and to sit and to have to eat with him. And so he has Sarah cook something. Now, there is some discussion about who these men were, and although it's not 100% sure who they were, they really are typically seen to be divine angels or divine beings that were sent to actually have this interaction with Abraham. And so they're sitting, they're talking, and the three men actually are talking with Abraham, and they tell him, like, you are going to birth a child, you and your wife. And so Abraham is like, how is that going to happen? Like, what are you talking about? And it's like, yo, in a year, this time next year, you were going to have a baby. And Abraham was like, I'm going to be 100 years old. Sarah is going to be 90. How is this possible? Now, Sarah is up here ear hustling on the conversation, and she hears it, and she starts laughing like, yeah, right. That's not going to happen. Like, how can I have this type of pleasure, this desire met? And I'm so old. And so the guys, they hear her, the visitors, they hear her laughing. They're like, so why are you laughing? Like, is anything too hard for God? So Sarah now gets a little scared. She's like, oh no, I didn't laugh, because now she was a little afraid because she didn't realize that they, even heard the fact that she, was laughing and doubting that, like, I'm too old for this to happen. So the visitors leave and a year passes by, and guess what? Sarah and Abraham give birth to a child who now is named Isaac. And at this point, Abraham is 100 years old and Sarah is 90, and they give birth to this child. It's such a miraculous moment that happens, and there's so many key points in this story. First is to know that when God says something is going to happen, it's going to happen. Even though it may be delayed for years and years, even though it seemed like you may now be in a situation where it's impossible to happen, if God says it's going to happen. It's not too late. And so when you look at Sarah, Sarah tried to help God out, by having Abraham sleep with her servant Hagar, and it ended up actually producing more problems for Sarah, because now Sarah's looking like Hagar, like, oh, you feeling yourself now because you had a child by my husband. Like, no, right? And so if Sarah would have just kept trusting God and waiting on God, she wouldn't have had to now deal with the frustration of how that situation unfolded. And so that's even encouragement to us as well, is that God doesn't need our help. Like, yes, there's a scripture in the Bible where it talks about faith without works is dead. But it's one thing to do the works that's in alignment with what God has promised you. It's another thing to do your works that's out of what you want and that's in alignment with what you think needs to happen. It's like, no, like, God doesn't need your help. He doesn't need you to go ahead of him. He doesn't need you to try to make things happen. Like, he's God. He's all powerful. He can do anything in the absolute world, in the entire universe. And the other thing that I just want to point out is that, even though you may have even other people around you who may doubt and support your doubt, is that you want to walk away from that. What's really kind of sad to see is that even Abraham doubted that it would happen as well. I mean, if he had truly believed that God was going to allow Sarah to give birth to children, that he wouldn't have even agreed to actually sleep with Hagar. And that's not, throwing shade. It's that, hey, he's human, Sarah's human, and we've been there as well, where it's like we get a promise from God and, life goes on and we figure like, oh, it's not going to happen. Let me just go some type of way. And so you want to maintain your faith, and you want to make sure that you stay connected with people who will be just as committed to what God has spoken to you as much as you are committed to that as well. So now let's move forward to our dose of spiritual wellness, which is it's not too late. And so we can take this in a literal sense when it comes to like age. No matter how old you are, you may feel that you're past the time when certain things could happen in your life, but it's totally not too late. You can still get the degree to certification. You can still have children. You can still have a wonderful marriage and be married to someone who you love and have an awesome, amazing life. Not saying it's going to be perfect, but it can still be awesome. You can still go and purchase the home. You can still start the business. You can still become whatever it is that you want to become. You can still heal from your pain. You can move forward from the heartbreak. Like, you don't have to live in whatever it is that you feel is holding you back. And so it's not too late. Even if it's been a year or 6 months, even if it's been 6 months where you feel stuck in a rut, if it's been a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 or 50 years, no matter how long it has been, it's not too late for your new day to start now. It's not too late for you to walk in the promise God has given you now. It's not too late for you to believe and to live out that belief now. Even if it may still take a little bit longer for you to see the manifestation of it, you can still walk in the promise and the assurance that what God said he is going to do. So, dose of spiritual wellness again, is not too late. Okay, so that is all that we have for today for our Ladies in a Self-Care group. Make sure that you stay tuned in throughout the week. On Tuesdays, Sharia does the Walking with Sharia, where it's an opportunity to get up, get some physical movement. I know some of us may be trying to lose some of those quarantine pounds. So this is a great way to be able to get up, get moving, but to also get some great self-care tips as well that you can implement in your life. She also brings in guest speakers who specialize and have expertise in various fields. So, hey, it's definitely a win-win situation. You get up, you get moving, and you get to spend time with Sharia and another expert and get some great tips that you can put into your life. On Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sharia and I go live for a free virtual support group. And so if you would like to participate you can just make sure you tune here in the group if you're a member of the group. If you're not a member of the self-care group, you can actually register at the link below in this video. And so you click on that and you'll be able to participate with the support support group actually via Zoom. Lastly, on Saturdays, Shireen and I, we do Small Business Saturday. Once a month, we go live together to talk about a topic to help you to start a business or to grow and maintain your business. The other weeks is that we actually do pre-recorded videos, so make sure that you check that out as well. So take care. Remember that self-care is a necessity, it's not a luxury. Make sure that you do not lose hope. Hashtag do the impossible. It's not too late. Start your new life today. All right, take care. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye.